Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this video, we are going to count down the top 10 worst figures to release this year. And that's a tricky thing to do because I'm including all of the things I reviewed, not just one line of, say, particularly poor figures. This is all of them. And so in order to make this an interesting list and a fair list, a key component here is the expectation versus what was delivered. So it's not just going to be like, oh, it's the worst Marvel Legends filling every spot. That doesn't make sense. A lot of those we expect to be bad, and they don't cost that much compared to certain other things. For instance, like a really expensive import line that makes a turd, that's going to be a higher priority entry for this list than just a crappy Marvel Legends. So yeah, there's a lot of subjectivity here. The list would change definitely if I made it tomorrow, but I'm making it now. This is my list, and you guys can let me know in the comment section below if you agree or disagree, or just what your list would be. But let's go ahead and get started with number 10. We have the McFarlane Toys Batman Returns. Now, the reason I have this figure on the list is it was an expensive theatrical edition release, which came with nothing at all to justify it being called that or having the price point. In fact, it's like halfway the same figure that they already released before, which is basically the same Batman, just done exceedingly better with more stuff and at a lower price point. It makes no sense what Todd's doing with this figure or this batch of figures in general. Some of them are good, I guess. But this figure being an incredible downgrade at a higher price point is just nuts. And it also looks like the wrong guy inside the cowl. So yeah, he had to make the list. But let's go ahead and move on to number 9. We have the Marvel Legends Maximum Hulk. Now this one bothers me a lot because it's mostly a figure we already got before with some really terrible head sculpts, a terrible outer body that's supposed to flex but apparently tears. I didn't have that happen yet on mine, but it has happened to other people. But it's just a bad idea to get one pose out of the figure and some articulated toes. That's it. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, I'm sorry. It has a couple accessories, but it's not even a good Hulk to begin with. It was bad to begin with. They didn't fix most of the problems. It has worse paint than the original release. There's not really any good justification for this figure to exist, let alone be extra expensive. So yeah, I think Hasbro's just they've jumped the shark at this point, and this is a good example of how they've done it. All right, moving in at number 8, we have the SH Figure Arts Tekken King Figure. This figure is particularly bad, not just because the Tekken line has not been great, but because this one, it's like they weren't even trying. Having hard sculpted tassels that just stick out and float out into space, that's just such a weird thing to do, but also the head sculpt, it looks abysmal. I don't know what happened, but I've seen Bandai put out really nice detailed sculpts and paint jobs. This is not it. This figure looks terrible. It doesn't pose well, especially for a fighter like King. It doesn't pose well. It doesn't look that good. It has all kinds of other issues. It's not good. I know King fans are big, like they need their King figure, but I promise you won't enjoy it as much as you wish you would. Don't get it. Get a Storm Collectibles one and just be happy with that. It's not a very good figure. Speaking of not very good figures from Bandai, we have the SH Figure Arts Deadpool. This figure it's so lazy, it's so poorly executed. The strap being cut across the chest is why he made it. That's it. There's plenty of other reasons, but that's the one thing. The way they sculpted the strap onto the chest, that's Bush League from 20 years ago. For Bandai to be doing that on an SH Figure Arts, that's just nuts. I don't need anything else. That's enough of a reason. Somebody told me in the comment section recently on that review, it's like, you don't get to decide what's good. No, I don't. That's just not good. There's no argument for sculpting a strap on the chest that doesn't need to be sculpted and then cutting it with the sculpt. That's nuts. Moving on to number 6, we have the Marvel Legends Miles Morales. There's not really much I need to say about this one. It speaks for itself. What the heck were they thinking or not thinking about when they made this? It doesn't look human. It doesn't look like anything that any reasonable company would ever release. Somebody was paid to make this. Somebody was paid to authorize it. Somebody was paid to say, okay, ship it. None of those people should be getting paid for these things that resulted in this product. It's just all around terrible. Alright, moving in at number 5. Moving in, whatever. We have the SH Figure Arts Zodd, Nosferatu Zodd from Berserk. And man, Berserk really can't catch a break, can it? This figure is just really bad in almost every way. The face sculpt is okay, but the execution, from quality control for the paint to the articulation not working to the sculpt being janky and weird, and he's expensive, man. I don't like making these worst lists. Maybe I shouldn't do them. I gotta go back to not doing them, even though you guys keep asking for them. They make me sad. But this figure makes me sad because I was hoping, okay, fine, at least maybe I'll get Zodd to go with the one Guts figure that's not terrible. And nope, it's just all around bad. I sold it off so fast. As soon as I got done reviewing it, it went right back in the box to be sold. Not happy with that one. Man, Bandai's coming in at number 4. Also, SH Figure Arts Kinnikuman. This figure is an abomination. It has not even the fighter body that they were using before. This type of articulation they were using for their previous Kinnikuman line, Ultimate Muscle. It's worse than that. It doesn't really look better. And it has model kit style face parts, which don't stay in place and look terrible. I don't know what they were doing with this when they designed it, but it is a huge downgrade from the previous figures, which, as far as I know, didn't sell that well, and that's why the line stopped being a thing. So that's pretty unfortunate. Okay, coming in at number 3, we have the McFarlane Toys Liu Kang, which features a mostly reused body from a figure, like, what, 5 years ago? And it's just terrible. The face sculpt and paint, like, maybe the sculpt's okay, but the paint alone... I don't know that there's a more pathetic looking figure out there on the market right now, or at least this year. It's pretty terrible. It doesn't really match what it's supposed to be, and it's the sculpt, the articulation, the paint, lack of accessories. There's nothing about this figure that is good other than that it exists. So if you really wanted a piece of plastic shaped like a man, you could buy this one, but I wouldn't recommend it. Coming in at number 2, this might be contentious, we have the Revoltech Saitama. I don't know what they were thinking over there, but they took a very basic design and hacked it to pieces in like one of the worst ways they've ever done. It's not one of the good ones. Like, sometimes their figures don't even look that chopped up and they still pose really well. But this one looks terrible from so many angles. It has terrible proportions, terrible cuts in it for the articulation, and it doesn't represent the character properly. And they locked one of the, or like the most important head sculpt or face, whatever you want to call it, the portrait, behind exclusivity, depending on where you buy it. Yeah, this is not a... Oh, the cape is terrible too. So yeah, like, the only good thing about this figure is that it has some decent enough accessories to go with it. But they did not do a good job with Saitama here. I was going to get it just because, or keep it just because. I thought, you know, it'd be fun to have a fun Saitama figure. I couldn't get past it. It looks too damn goofy. Even when you pose it up pretty dynamically, it's way too chopped up for the articulation for such a simple design. And that giant long neck, it makes it even uglier. Alright, last one, coming in at number 1, a figure that I was hoping was going to be really good just because I like the idea of the design and I want to get into the game, but they really shat the bed. The SH Figure Arts Malenia from, what's the game called? Elden Ring, right? Elden Ring, yes. And it's like not that hard of a design. It's a tall lady with a sword. That's it. I mean, she has a cape, but they've done capes before. They even did a decent cape here, but the cloth part doesn't match the plastic part. That's a problem. The paint job's not particularly good on the whole figure. It's loose and floppy. That's a problem. They missed some features on the sword. That's a problem. It's ridiculously expensive. That's a problem. The proportioning on the figure isn't as good as it should be. Like, she's super lanky, more so than she is in the game. That's a problem. There's really not much going on here that's very good. Like, some of the painted parts are nice, some of the sculpted details are nice, and the figure exists. That's it. She comes with almost nothing, like almost literally 0 accessories, unless you count the separate skirt piece that is almost useless. There's just nothing to justify the price point, and that's why it makes the number 1 spot. I think it's probably the most disappointing release for anybody who bought it. It was very expensive, and you get almost literally nothing for your money that even comes close to justifying it. She's slightly tall, but she's super skinny, so where's the money going? And why is it so poorly executed for such a simple design? It makes no sense, and that's why I had to put this one in at number 1. But that's it for me, guys. That's the end of my worst 10 figures of 2025 list. Let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? We'll talk in the comment section below. But otherwise, thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this or any of my other lists, give them a like, give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate that. If you didn't, you can give them all a thumbs down too. That's fine. But you might also want to subscribe. I have new videos just about every single day. There may be a little tiny break around the New Year time, just before, just after, I don't know. But otherwise, it's basically every single day. It's at least 6 days a week. And I do have thousands of videos already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.